Good evening and welcome once again to the Whiskey Cowboy Live. Tonight's date is December 4th, 2024. It is a Sunday. It is a Sunday. It's not a Sunday. It's Wednesday. It's a Wednesday. I'm all messed up. Sorry about that. Let me say that again. Let's start again. You ready for that? Good evening and welcome once again to the Whiskey Cowboy Live. Today's date is December 4th. It is a Wednesday. Welcome to the show. Laurel says, looks good and sounds great. Glad to see you. Thank you, Laurel. Glad to be here. I'm not right yet, but I'll get into that. We got 3 folks watching. I'll get into why I haven't been here for a week. It's been 2 shows that have been postponed. Oh, goodness. Tonight's coffee is caramel macchiato from New England brand. Caramel macchiato. Had medium thick pork chops on the bone tonight with salt and pepper and fried, and then put some stone ground mustard on it lightly, and then some chopped mushrooms, and then pepper jack cheese melted over the top of that. Had it with some roasted taters and broccoli. Jacqueline says, yeah, you're back. You were missed. We understand. Thank you. Yeah, I'll get into a little bit. I won't get in too deep, but I'll let folks know roughly what's been happening. But I'm glad folks missed the show. Sorry that you missed the show. I couldn't do it. The missus is like, you're going to do the show tonight? Like, yeah. I can't go more than a week without having the show up. So I'm not very comfortable. See, if you see me wincing, I'm uncomfortable. I was able to. I had to go to Vermont yesterday. Gus went with me. I drove up and picked him up. I was able to position my seat right, so I was like, okay. I got rid of most of the pain. I was able to drive. So 2-hour drive there, 2-hour drive back, hobble. I'm limpy now. I'm limpy. It was a personal showing for the property. Feller's interested in it. Went really well. Had to take him up to the well. Gus is like, damn, you said it wasn't close, but it was a little further than what he thought. Yeah, it's a stretch. It's a stretch. Had to walk up the wood road, around a couple bends, and then climb up over. If you don't know where the well is, you ain't going to find it. Now, the property's 2 segments. And so I found it and showed the feller. In the process, I'm almost there. I took a big face plant. It's like, there it goes. Gus is like, yeah, there goes John. I was okay. I locked up. I didn't let my legs fall. I just locked up like a board and fell straight on my face. Well, caught myself by my hands and slowed down before I hit the ground. But yeah, it was fine. It wasn't too much snow on the ground, so it was okay. So then we all hobbled back. So Gus has got hip issues, and I got hip issues, and the other guy has leg issues. So we were all kind of hobbling through the woods. Gus says he didn't laugh. Yeah, you laughed inside. You know he laughed. Well, you had to probably laugh once you realized I was okay. I didn't hurt myself. But again, thank you, Gus, for coming along for the ride. He says, you got me out of the house. So keep your fingers crossed on the property. It looks good. We got some storms coming in. The next place, they're going to come up and look at the septic on the 11th. I'm not going to pay a plow to go up there if there's, every time it snows, if there's going to be 3 snowstorms between now and the 11th, I'll wait and just have them plow once. I don't have the money to roll around and just pay somebody to keep the place open when ain't nobody going to be there. I do have the furnace on, so pipes won't freeze, and it was fine. But yeah, it was a good day. Gus and I had good yaks on the ride there and back. What it is I got my hip flexor and then associated glutes and lower back muscle all tied in together, and my hip flexor went out. So that screwed them all up. It's not a back issue. My spine is fine. It's a muscle issue. So I've been dealing with that. Boy, it hurts. So I massage it, and I take my medication, and I take that ice of something or other. I put on it. Jacqueline says, well, that's one way to get a chiropractic adjustment, but don't try. No, it was fine. It was fine. Yeah, my back's fine. And it didn't hurt because I locked my legs up when I fell down. So I didn't bend my legs. I just fell forward like I was a 2x4 falling down and braced myself with my arms as they hit. I mean, it was fine. So it was good. So we had the walk up to the well and then the walk back. And Gus was saying on the way back, I'm going to paraphrase him here. I probably won't get it right. He said, we got at the top of the hill. There's a big, long, pretty good incline going up the first leg of the road. And he goes, yeah, we're going to see 3 old men go sliding down this hill. We did fine. But it was a good day. So yeah, that's why I got to sit in a particular position, and I can't sit for very long. The car actually wasn't too darn bad, because again, I could recline just right and get my left leg cocked in just the right angle. So it was like, okay, I stopped most of the pain. Kay is on the show. He says, hello. Hey, Kay, welcome to the show. So that's why we didn't have a show. Just like, no, I couldn't sit in the chair here. Not more than probably 3 minutes before it got too painful. So again, if you see me wincing throughout the show, just know that's how I'm getting told something, and we'll get through it. Okay, let's see here. Let's go to my show notes. If Don is watching the show, she probably already been to the show notes. Let's go to the show notes. Current Whiskey Cowboy news. Well, that was that. Got the showing at the house. I posted up yesterday. Not yesterday. Day before yesterday. Was it day before yesterday? No, it had to have been yesterday. Hey, Donna, welcome to the show. She says she is, but she's not, didn't check the notes. When the hell was it? Was it yesterday? It had to have been the day before yesterday. Today's Wednesday. Yeah, so it was Monday. Because Tuesday I told Gus, and I posted online. So yeah, Monday night I got a text from the builder for the dulcimer. He said, hey, tomorrow I'm going to put in your electronics and get set up for you. So he verified a few things. I'm like, yeah. Well, I got the message today. It's done. It's getting ready. It's ready to ship. I've got pictures of it. Because he sets it up and he puts it on a page, and I just go to the page and I pay and everything, and so it was fine. So I got pictures of it, and it looks like I thought it would. I'm not showing you. I'm not showing you. I want the reveal to be my video. I'll do the video of the reveal of the Whiskey Cowboy dulcimer, and then I'll post up pictures with that. Donna says, glory be. Yeah, it's beautiful. It's just how I thought it would be. And he apologized and thanked me for sticking with the process because he's a year late. So, I go, well, what you going to do? It ain't cheap. But that money was set aside. So, yeah. Here, hopefully, in the next couple days, I don't know. I think it's being shipped from New Mexico, and I don't know how. I know the shipping cost an arm and a leg. Shipping's damn near $100 on that. But yeah, so Jacqueline asks, how long is it? I started this process last November. Last November. Had to get on the list because I wasn't just buying a hand, something that he'd already done. I had to be on the list. So I called him up and we discussed what I wanted. And he doesn't get any better. Doesn't get any better than this. This has got everything in it. It's got the piezos. It's got the humbucker, split humbucker. Not even just a humbucker. It's a humbucker that you can split. Electric guitar players know what I'm talking about. So it's got piezo. That's the crystals that are used for a standard acoustic guitar. That's like I got in my Taylor. A humbucker that's split. And the humbucker is 2 coils instead of 1. Okay, a Strat uses single coils. Well, now you can get single and doubles, but classic Strat is single coil pickups. A Les Paul use humbuckers. They're 2 coils per set of pickups. Call humbuckers because they cancel each other out. They get rid of 60 cycle hum. Again, electric guitar players don't know what I'm talking about. But this is not even just a humbucker. It's a split humbucker. So we're talking about a hot rod here. And it's got a 13-pin MIDI out port. So I can plug in a 13-pin, run it to a MIDI processor, and run, make it sound like horns or organs, or run any combination of the other 2 pickups along with the MIDI playing in background. So I could do it could sound like orchestra strings in the back, and I could be playing, it could sound like a blues guitar. All in the same thing. Now, I don't have a MIDI processor, but it's like, let's go ahead and do this thing up so that the next thing I can get is the MIDI processor for it. So that was fine. So I called him up and everything, and he's like, I said, is that something you'd be interested in? Do you have room in your build list? He's like, yeah. I said, yeah. I said, okay. And I wanted some custom features, like it's got a custom sound hole, never done before. Got custom fretboard inlays, never been done before. It's all mine. And this thing's got most dulcimers, the classic dulcimers, they don't have any electronics on them. And the fretboard is flat. And this isn't flat. This is a radiused, like you get with a guitar. The fretboards ain't flat usually. So this is radiused, and it's ebony. So it's an ebony, just like a guitar. It's got the neck, and it's got the ebony fretboard over the top of it with the frets. And it's full chromatic instead of diatonic. Diatonic's missing. Diatonic is all like a piano. It's all your white keys missing the black keys. Good evening, Wisconsin Wonder. And hey, Wayne. What's next? A hurdy-gurdy? Nah, you never know. Maybe. So yeah, and it's got a maple top. I like alternating. He offered me, he goes, hey, I got some really nice Sinker redwood. It's 100-plus-year-old Sinker redwood. And I'm like, yeah, I know that probably, yeah, but I want a contrast. So I went with the maple top, so it's light. But I went with it's called Ghost Maple or Ambrosia Maple. It's got figuring in it, so it's really neat. The hurdy-gurdy has a really unique sound. You have a unique sound, Wayne. So, and then it's got, I like walnut. Folks who follow my content, I love walnut. So this has a figured Claro walnut back and sides. So it's dark. Wayne says yes, he does. Yeah, and it's Grover tuners on it, black Grover tuners, and yeah, she's sweet. You'll like her. So what I'm going to do is I'll get the dulcimer in. I'll let folks know when it comes in, and I got to get my video made, video and pictures, and put that up. And it'll probably be about a week before I put out a music video with it, because I haven't played my dulcimer in a year. And I set it aside. And playing a dulcimer is not like playing a guitar. With a guitar, your fingers are wrapped around this way. Dulcimer, your fingers are like this. So it's your hand is opposite and backwards of what it would be playing a guitar. So your fingering is totally different. It's totally different. The frets will be the same, but the way you work them is just totally different. So you have to learn songs different. And the strings are DAD, and that's not guitar string tuning. So where I go now and I go, okay, this is where I go up and down the fretboard and I know where it is, from string to string. It's not going to be the same with the dulcimer. So Gus says next will be the classic washboard. I would toss colors to wash. Yeah, spoons. I got spoons. I got some spoons. Give Gus the washboard and Sally a set of spoons and have them go at it. No, so I think folks are going to be surprised because I'm not going to be doing classic dulcimer tunes. I'm going to be doing modern-ish music. Yeah, I like jazz and I like blues and funk and stuff, so expect a lot of that on the dulcimer. So it's going to be really neat. Plus the fact that it's got the pickups on it, it sounds different. And I can play it acoustic as well, but most of it probably won't be acoustic. It will be electrified. It's a beautiful beast. Okay, was there anything else? I talked about my hip and my ass muscles. So, of course, with that, know that it also, since your sciatic nerve passes from your spine down past your hip to the back of your leg, well, that passes right through your muscle group. So when your hip flexor swells and knots up, it presses on your sciatic nerve. So think of all the things that classic sciatic stuff, that along with the rest of the pain. So Donna says, socialism versus capitalism. Joe's pardon. Yeah, okay. She got my list. And CVS. So I think that's about it for the Whiskey Cowboy news. So here we go. Socialism versus capitalism. She's going, let's go, John. Let's go. Socialism versus capitalism, traditional definitions, how it really works, and how it ties in with liberty and freedoms, or the lack thereof. Jacqueline said that's exactly why I told you I have empathy. Yeah, so I'm dealing with it. It's getting better. I'm way better than I was a week ago. I couldn't be sitting here this long. I hobble around. I got to get up. The key is moving it, massaging it, get going. It's going to be slow healing, but it'll get there. Okay, socialism versus capitalism. We don't operate under capitalism. We are a capitalist country, but we do not work under capitalism. We're actually quite socialist. Now let me get this. Now I don't usually say this because it confuses the hell out of people. One of the things that people point out about Germany in the 1930s, well, Hitler was a socialist. But see, he didn't take over the true definition of the true hardcore thing of socialism involves the government owning the means of production. That's the same way with communism. But I'm not going to mention his name. He realized he doesn't want to have to deal with that. He realized that you could keep all the business ownerships under private ownership, and you could just regulate the hell out of them, and you're basically owning them without incurring any of the risks or costs. He wasn't stupid. And you go, oh, shit. Yeah, that's exactly what's happening in the United States right now. And I've said this for a long time. The biggest threat to American businesses is not foreign businesses. It's overregulated markets. When the government comes in and tells you, you can't sell this type of vehicle anymore, or they impart such strict regulations that it makes production cost prohibitive or reduces what you're going to do, i.e. CAFE standards and stuff like that, the government might as well own the business. That's not a free market economy. Yes, we are capitalistic, but we are not true free market capitalism. We're regulated to the gills and then some. The government dictates. You don't think so? Open up a business. Find out all the regulations and the shit you've got to go through. You'll figure shit out. It's not really a free market economy. Now, socialism just isn't having social programs and having police and firemen and military. Every government has to have that. Hey, Judy, welcome to the show. So that's not where socialism comes in. Socialism comes in with government programs. Welfare is socialist. The way the government controls the industries, that is socialism by proxy. So the government, again, the government doesn't have to come in and own a damn business, but they're pulling all the strings. Socialism and capitalism work on a spectrum. And it's like, think of you have a glass of water, and then you have blue dye. What makes green? Blue dye and yellow dye. Blue dye and yellow dye. Don says the same way we do wars. Yeah, wars are different story. Yeah, wars. That's another issue. So you have a glass of water. That's your nation, and then you have socialism is blue, and capitalism is yellow. There is no glass of water that's all yellow. Now, you may have more yellow than blue, but there's going to be blue in there. So it's really, what color of green are you? That's why the left always gets a, no, that's not real communism. That's not real socialism, because they go to the final extremes. But then they try to act like, oh, capitalism is bad. And they look to the United States and it's like, yeah, that's not real capitalism either. It's not. It's got too many constraints to be real capitalism. It's pseudo-socialism, where people think that they're running shit, but they're not. Now, Donald Trump wants to come back in and he wants to deregulate things. The more yeller you put in the water, so the lighter green it gets, the more economies grow. And it's happened in every country that's done it. And the more blue you put in the water to make it darker green, the slower the economy grows, and then it'll stop. And it's worked that way in every country that's done it. So again, we've never had any. That's why the people can go, well, no, it was the Russians. They're not really communist. Well, how about this communist China? They're communist, but they got a lot of capitalism now in there. They started putting a few drops of capitalism in there, and what's happened to their economy? It's going through the roof. India did the same thing. Added a few drops of capitalism in there, and what's happened? The economy's going through the roof. So that's what the state that we're in right now. And people don't. I wrote this again. Democracy. Our democracy is the modern matrix. People don't understand. You guys know we don't live in a democracy, but everybody thinks they do. Oh, we live in a capitalist society. We practice capitalism. Nah, it's pseudo-capitalism. Wayne says if you go by the true definition of communism, there have been no true communist or socialist countries. None. Same way there's no capitalist countries. None. Again, I hate using this word because they've used the hell out. It's a spectrum. It's where you fit in the spectrum. It's how much of this and how much of that. How much of this and how much of that. People need to wake up. I think I'll write an article. What do y'all think about that? If I write up an article explaining some of this stuff, because people don't get it. And I've said regulation is killing. You don't need to own a company to either help it or destroy it. You don't need to own companies to, again, the same by dictating. You can't sell. It's on a continuum. Yeah, well, More of a spectrum. Continuum, sort of like a spectrum, but it's not the same thing. It's on a spectrum. It's on a spectrum. But yeah, the government's been, you can't sell this type of stove. You've got to add reburners and catalytic converters in your wood stoves. You can't sell them. You can't register, in Europe, in 2035 or some crap like that. They're not going to be able to register. Watch, they will. They'll have to backtrack on that. But saying they can't register a gasoline engine vehicle. Gus says that explanation would make a great short for Facebook and YouTube. I bet you get lots of feedback and shares. Yeah, I might be able to do that. Shorts are limited amount. Maybe do a short that would hit on some highlights and direct to the article. But yeah, and by no means am I the only person out there that understands this and has said this. But so many people don't. They don't get it. They don't get it. Okay. Legal scrutiny of Joe's pardon. Joe's pardon. Boy, remember how I said everybody's like, they were up in arms with what the Democrats did concerning Kamala Harris. They broke the law. How dare they? We're a democracy. No, we're not a democracy. The Democrats didn't break any rule or any law with how they chose Kamala Harris and how they ran with her. Not a single rule, not a single law. It was stupid of them, but it was fair game. Why? Because we're not a democracy. And the thing is most people don't understand. So they thought, oh, shit, something's been done wrong here. No, just because it ain't been done before that you have seen doesn't mean that it's illegal. Okay? So let's get back to the Joe pardoning his boy, crackhead Hunter. There's two notable examples of very similar cases. One is Nixon. Nixon was pardoned. And he was pardoned for a certain amount of time. And he was pardoned for, and everybody goes, how can you pardon somebody for a crime that they were not even charged with or convicted? Again, Nixon was pardoned, was given a full blanket pardon over a period of time concerning anything that had to do with those shenanigans. It was a blanket pardon. So even stuff that if you found out later was still a crime and he did it, he still couldn't be prosecuted for it federally. Okay. The second known big case was after the Iran-Contra deal, and there was a handful of fellers that were given blanket pardons for an extended period of time. Why? Now, these are usually done. Same. Nixon was done so that it could be put to bed. Yeah, I'll get to that, Donna. The Nixon thing was just so that it could be put to bed. Okay? The nation needed to move on. So it was put to bed. The Iran-Contra thing was it covered a shit ton of people's asses. It also put it to bed. The difference between those situations and Hunter is, number one, it was a family member. But family members have been pardoned before too. Don't think they haven't been. They have been. One of the Bushes pardoned one of his close family members for something. Well, it gave him clemency, which is different than a full pardon. It gave him clemency. So that's not an issue. The thing is that Hunter's pardon is at least twice, if not just over twice the period of time of the longest other blanket pardon, and goes even deeper than a specified segment. Now, there's some people screaming and going, that's illegal. It's like, I looked at it. It doesn't look to be the case. I think it's legal. It'll stand up. Is it stupid? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. It's stupid. So, yeah, I think it's gonna pass muster. But what I predicted is there might be, because there's wording that things need to be amended to put a little bit of guardrails on this pardon shit. I believe Wayne doesn't believe in pardons at all. I think it's a neat. What it's meant for is if there was a true injustice, that the president and governors have it as well. They can take care of an injustice. That's what it's meant for. Well, we've come a long way, as the Virginia Slims ad says. You know, you come a long way. But Donna brings up a point. The hunter can still be questioned in a hearing. Yes, he can. He can. He can. So he can end up hanging other people. And if he doesn't, if he refuses, he'll go to prison for that. He'll go to prison for that. And if charges are filed, not just a hearing, if charges are filed on somebody else that he has knowledge of, and he refuses to testify, he can be thrown in prison for that as well. Because, see, he can't hide behind the Fifth Amendment anymore. Now, this is the catch. I don't think the Republicans have the will or the balls to take this any further anyways. Ain't nobody going to go after Joe Biden. I think, just like in the past, everybody wants it to be put to rest. Here's my prediction. This is a coin toss. 50-50. This is a coin toss. Donald Trump, when he gets sworn in, he could pardon Joe Biden. Now, that would be a slick strategic move on Trump's part. He'd piss off a lot of people, but it would send a message and he'd try to put everything to bed. So we'll see whether or not that's what he does, whether he's going to pardon Joe Biden and or for how long of a period. Now, the debate is whether a president can pardon themselves. Now, some say yes and some say no. I think it's a bit dubious, but I'd have to look into the exact language of what it is. But wouldn't it be a shame that every outgoing president has to get a deal with the incoming president that would just pardon them so people would stop fucking with them? Of course, that doesn't stop states. See, both states and the federal government went after Donald Trump. So look to hopefully the Republicans will put an end to this shenanigans and say, we need to stop this. The left is already screaming. The left is screaming that Trump and the Republicans are going to do exactly what they've been doing for the past 4 years. But they didn't do before that. The Republicans never exercise lawfare like this. It's just the Democrats. The Republicans haven't done a massive pardon like that. It's just him. It's not mentioned in the Constitution, pardoning self. Right. Yeah, I thought that it's not. And again, in absence of, yeah, there you go. If it's not prohibited, well, there you go. So it's going to be a tricky thing. I don't think they can, but I've heard arguments from both sides, and I haven't examined the text personally. Again, tonight's coffee, caramel macchiato from New England brand. So that's the thing with Joe and the pardon. So we'll see how that plays out. And that's all I'm going to speculate. I got to see. Wait for stuff to happen. Everybody's, this. Same with all the picks. You've noticed I haven't gone over the picks. I've mentioned one or two picks. But generally I'm leaving it go because they're not even, look, they're not even confirmed yet. So I'm not wasting my time speculating. It's not what I do. I got other things to take care of. Here we go. The FBI investigation and DOJ versus Congressional Ethics Panel. I got a call in the other day. It wasn't a call. It was Facebook Messenger, and I'd never had that happen before. Usually people text me. It goes to my cell phone. Like, hey, what number did you call? Because I have several numbers going to my cell phone. What number did you call? Like, I'm on Facebook Messenger. Okay, thanks. Lets me know. This is cool. So yes, if you call me on Facebook Messenger, you'll get to hear my voice. So she was all confused. The gal was confused. She's like, explain what's going on here. Okay, well, and it's about Matt Gaetz. Now, the FBI investigated and the DOJ decided not to file any charges. So legally, it's done. It's done. Well, the Congressional Ethics Committee did their own investigation. You don't have to be kicked out of Congress. You don't have to have committed a crime. You had to commit an ethics violation. Not getting into what Gaetz did or didn't do. Okay. It looks damn well like he committed an ethics violation. He didn't commit a crime. There's a difference. Gaetz did something that most people would think is probably, you might not want to do that, Matt. And he did it. High testosterone feller, young gal. And I'll leave it at that. Did not break any laws, from what I see. Did not break any laws. Was it a congressional ethics violation? Yeah, I'll bet it probably was. So he was on his way out anyways. But the thing is then you've got the court of public opinion. Whether it's illegal or not, that only works for Democrats. Wayne says, from what I've seen reported on, that he was set up. Yeah, I heard that too. Wayne, they can't set me up. If I was single, they couldn't set me up like that. Could they set you up like that, Wayne, if you were a single feller? If they set him up, he was willfully blind. He was willfully blind. And I'll leave it at that. You're right. Your brain goes, nope. Right. Again, like I said, high testosterone, young feller. Because Chip's going down. He gonna. Yeah. I get it. Not the smartest move. Not the smartest move. And we'll leave it like that. We don't need to get into that. Folks can do the research on their own. So did he break a law? Nah, not by what I can understand, what I've seen. Can they do the same to Hegseth? I don't think so. He's not a sitting congressman. They can either approve or they can approve or deny his position. But they can't do an ethics investigation on him. Well, they can do it. It can't be official. They have no power. They can either approve or it wasn't just him. They were trying to extort his father. Yeah. Well, like I said, it's a mess. But it wouldn't have caught me in it. Again, it's just, yeah. We'll just leave it at that. Folks can look into it. Yeah. I get it. But, hey, Peggy says, hey there, I'm happy to be here. Well, good, Peggy. You're happy to be here. You didn't say you were happy to see me. I think Laurel said she was happy to see me. Happy to have you here, Peggy. Happy to have you here. So yeah, they can't. Yeah, with Hegseth, he's got a screwed up name. It's the same thing. You know, they could do about the same thing with that they did with Kavanaugh. Yeah, they can pull their games and they can do that. But then you either confirm him or don't. Damn it. But yeah, you either confirm him or you don't. They don't have any congressional power over him because he's not a congressman. So I hope that explained it better for you, Donna. They can just do standard nominee bullshit. Wayne says Matt was extorted over that issue. Or exonerated over that issue. Now they're trying to bring it back. Yeah, well, because he was, but he wasn't. He was legally exonerated. I try to say there's a difference between ethics violations and criminal charges. So yeah, yeah, they could. It's a sneaky game. Laurel says, how many sitting in Congress are eligible for an ethics hearing of everything they can? Yeah, well, yeah, yeah. It's a dangerous path to go down. It's a dangerous path to go down. Jacqueline says, if it would make you feel better to get up and walk around for a few, we did. Oh no, I get it. If it gets too bad, I'll shut the show down. I get punched every now and again. As long as I can just twist it, that's fine. Yeah, these games are dangerous games to play, and the Democrats have been playing them, and now they're screaming because they're not in the majority anymore. So, yeah. Yeah, he was legally exonerated. He wasn't politically exonerated or ethics exonerated. Yeah, they're going to play their game, so that's the difference between those two things, between legalities, the criminal side and the ethics side. And he was caught between a rock and a hard spot. South Korea incident and how it relates to the United States. Y'all hear about South Korea? Did y'all hear about that? Martial law. The president of South Korea declared martial law a couple days ago. And why? And why? Well, because they're Democrats. We're pulling exactly what our Democrats did, but at a higher level. They were doing lawfare, and they were trying to remove people also. They lifted it. Yes, they've lifted it now. But regardless, the fact that he declared martial law and that's the important thing that I'm trying to get to. There are a lot of countries, the United States, England, God, I can't think. There's a handful of them out there that their governments are going through very similar things than ours did, where they're using lawfare against other political parties and persons in positions. And it got so bad over in Korea that he had enough of that. It's like they're trying to rip the country apart. So he declared martial law. They'll get it sorted out. But this time it revolves around bureaucracies. They set up a bureaucracy to run things so that everybody can seem impartial and they don't have to do their job. Well, then the bureaucracies get infiltrated and run by political parties, and they're just puppets and they're weaponized. Well, sound familiar? Again, there's a handful of countries out there that are going through damn near the same thing, and the United States is one of them. So that's what that is, and that's how it relates to the United States. That was a short and quick one. United Kingdom, immigration, Europe, the West, and why. I don't know if y'all got this. The Prime Minister of England got up in front of the, well, we call it they got on the floor, but I don't know what they call it over there. He got in front of, we call it the well. They're in the well, and they get in front of people and talk. And he's like, hey, this immigration debacle, I'm paraphrasing here, that was manufactured. This open borders and flooding the UK and other European countries was designed and implemented by the EU. And he demands to know why. Donna says another hearing on C-SPAN today. England, or are you talking about Korea? Are you talking about England? He's pissed off, and rightfully so. Yeah, they call it no, but I'm talking about where he is. See, we get in front of Congress, but they call it the well that's in the well. Oh, we're having a hearing? Oh, you talking about what hearing? They're always having a hearing. What's this hearing on? Sometimes I have 2 or 3 hearings a day. Depends upon what committee they're in front of. Oh, immigration? Oh, okay. Yeah, you gotta dial me in a little bit more, a little fine tuning than that. So yeah, he's pissed off. But that again, that deals with everything in the West because we've been flooded. The left in both Europe and the United States have been trying to flood the West with immigrants. And not immigrants of like political and social values, but different. Because they're trying to bring down and replace that which was there. And they think they're still going to be in charge. They think when they tear everything down and replace everything, they're still going to be in charge. What a foolish thing for them to think, because it ain't going to happen. And we're at the point now where enough people in the UK, enough people in the US, we're starting to go, hey, some of us have always been going, hey, stop this. We see the dangers. So he's all pissed off. So we'll see how that goes. Another thing, y'all hear the transgender children case hit SCOTUS. They're going on with that. I predict a 6-4 or a 5-3, 6-3 or 5-4 ruling on that. That's upheld. That you do not have to. You do not have to, and you cannot. You can make a law that states that you cannot give children permanently altering transgender operations and or treatments. I think it's going to be upheld. I think it's going to be 6-3, 5-4, something like that. Donna says it went back to Congress. You think what went back to Congress? There must be a delay. What went back to Congress? The ruling about the transgender children, it wouldn't have been to Congress because it wasn't a congressional thing. It was a state thing. So they would have had to have sent it. If they refused to see the case, then it would have been. But it seems to me that if they heard opening arguments and stuff, that they're already seeing the case. Wisconsin says, what are your thoughts on the no confidence vote in France? Coin toss. You can't tell with France. You can't. It's France. It's France. They said that they're not doctors. Yeah, I'll have to look into that because last I knew they were still arguing it. And it seems to me that it'd be odd that they would kick it back after they'd either hear the case or they wouldn't. They know they're fucking doctors before or not. I heard that Brown said that she equated it to racism and stuff. It's like, yeah, stop it. Peggy says it's not hard to predict who's in favor of transgender. Yeah, and SCOTUS. Yeah, like I said, it's. I think if I'm going to have to look into where it was. I've been kind of busy because I've been out of the loop. Been trying to catch up on things. My prediction, if they are going to rule on it, it would seem strange that they would kick it back, saying that they're not doctors if they've already heard arguments. Usually, that's done beforehand. They'd say that they're not able to rule on this, and they refuse to see the case. Jacqueline said, but it just puts it back to the state. Like, yeah, it would be. It would be. Then it'd be up to the states. Or the highest court in the states. But this went all the way to the highest court in the state, and then they jumped it up to the Supreme Court of the United States. So I'll have to look into that. Put it in my list of things to do tomorrow. But yeah, I predict if they were to rule on it, I think they'd uphold it. If they kicked it back, I don't know what they said they weren't doctors, then they would have had to have shot it down and saying that it's not legal, but I don't know how they do that. So I'll have to look into it. I cannot speak any further on this topic intelligently until I do the research. And here's the big one. Here's another big one. It's not a big one. It's a no shit moment. Call my sneak peek. And I said sneak peek because I may or may not write up an article and post up the briefings on this. I may. CVS. And they're like, CVS? What the hell is John talking about with CVS? You know what I'm talking about with CVS? They had a coronavirus investigation. They had a coronavirus subcommittee, and they did an investigation on the coronavirus and things related to it. And they've concluded it, and they've published their report. Did y'all hear that? Or is this news to y'all? They have concluded their official investigation, compiled the report, and published it. Findings are out. Judy says, news to you. Guess what they found? It was not a conspiracy theory that the most likely place that the virus came from was Wuhan labs in China. Imagine that. They recommended that no money go to any more of the NIH and those funded things, as well as, I forget the name of the biotech company that was working with them. No U.S. fund should go there. They admitted they found out that, yes, in fact, they were doing, the NIH was doing, and then they were doing further, gain-of-function research. Same thing we all said they were doing. And Fauci no, they're not doing that. Yes, they are. You read their definition of what they're doing, and it's gain of function. Where the hell is Fauci? He's retired. I hope that they yeah. He needs to be prosecuted. Peggy says, yes, I saw that. Fauci is busy. He can't refute it. We already knew it. He was refuting it when we were saying it for 3 freaking years. He was talking out both sides of his mouth. They admitted and they found out that children should not have been involved in this anyways. Another pardon? Maybe. Yeah. That children should have been involved in this because they didn't get sick, and when they did, it didn't affect them much, and that they should not have closed down schools. And that has caused years' worth of developmental lagging for a generation of kids. They found that the measures that were put in place were causing problems that need not be, and people needlessly died because of either treatments and or mandates that were put in place. They admitted that the vaccine was not a vaccine, but that it was a therapeutic, and therefore should not have even been covered in anything legally that would pertain to vaccines, because it wasn't a vaccine. Donna says they moved the project outside of Wuhan. Yeah, I'm sure they moved it, but they moved it to Wuhan as well. It was in Kentucky. I reported this shit in early 2020. It was the development in the process began in a lab in Kentucky, a bio lab in Kentucky, run by the United States government, and they were doing shit that was illegal, and they moved it outside the country. They moved it to China. All this. I reported on all this stuff. Jacqueline says, and that was well on purpose too. Of course they knew it. Yeah, they knew. Yeah. And I report about all this stuff. I put up my articles every now and again. It's like, yeah, there you go. Told you so. Told you so. Oh, you're not a doctor. You're not a scientist. You don't have to be. You have to have a few functioning brain cells with the synapses firing properly, and just look out there and use your brain and put the data together, because it's out there. They lied about data. They lied about testing. They lied about this. They lied about that. They lied. It's not a vaccine. It's a therapeutic. And another thing, one of their final points they made in the study is there's a reason why we have the Constitution of the United States, and it does not have a virus clause, and that none of it should have happened because the Constitution prevents it from happening, but it happened anyways. Peggy says along with a bit of common sense. Right. They're still trying to say there was this big, huge swath of death, and it's like, go back and look at the numbers. They weren't that much different than the years before it. We have spikes. And dips within a normal range for the normal flu virus every year. Certain amount of people that die. They're the same. They are not dramatically different. For all intents and purposes, they're the same. Like I told you, I posted out one of the years there, tuberculosis, TB, killed millions of people. You didn't hear a peep about it. And TB is not a good thing. But you didn't hear about it. This was a planned fiasco. They were running simulations of this whole process the fall of 2019. They actually ran the simulations. They gamed it out. This is what would happen. And then what happened? They followed through every single step of the way. And remember when Fauci says mask? No, don't mask. Mask, don't mask. And he came out and he said, no, masks really don't work. It's getting people to be able to comply. Gets them ready to comply. He is a slimy snake. He is a slimy snake. He needs to be dealt with. But yeah, the report came out and said everything we already knew. It showed that government, along with social media platforms, were silencing dissent and opposing views to the narrative, and those views were actually the correct views. Gus says now lawsuits can happen and should. Yeah, they can, but I explained this too. It's kind of insular. The government protected themselves, and they worked shady shit to pull the strings, but then go, hey, we didn't do it. So yeah, we need lawsuits for every company that put people through shit. People need to pay. Any governor. I told you before, I wasn't going to vote for Sununu again. His handling, it was better than some states, but no, wasn't wasn't right for me. And I said he wouldn't get my vote. He decided not to run this time anyways. Now we got another Republican anyways. But yeah, all these people need to be sued to oblivion. Any angle that you can think of. Yeah, because we didn't know what the hell we were talking about. Because we were stupid. I was talking about just cross-contamination. Nobody was afraid of anything. If you were afraid of a virus that's going to kill that many people, you don't treat masks and gloves casually. You don't just leave them laying around. You couldn't go down any street in the United States and not see masks laying on the ground. It's like, really? Really? You're that afraid of this virus that you're just going to casually dispose of a mask on the ground? Plus those masks, hell, an N95 ain't good for 25 to 45 minutes, and then it's not good anymore anyways. And they wouldn't have worked against this virus anyways because the virus is too small. Again, I put up the charts, I put up the graphics. It wouldn't work. What they do is they reduce oxygen. It reduces people's ability to see each other. It keeps a constant reminder that there's this big fear out there. And not only is the virus the fear, but your fellow man is the fear. And then you can use that to control people. Damn it. An hour in. Now we're in. So, yeah. Been through this, laid it all out, and the report just proved everything. Everything. So that's my CVS sneak peek. So, yeah. You're not a doctor. I tell you what, and I tell people, if you went to a doctor that agreed with any of this, you better find yourself another doctor. We got rid of a doctor. We got rid of a doctor after, because we didn't go to the doctors during that whole thing. Nope. Then the missus went afterwards, and the doctor's wearing a mask. It's like, are you sick? Are you okay? She's like, yeah, why? I said, we're fine. So why are you wearing a mask? I'd like to see your face. And she wouldn't take the mask off. That was the last time we saw that doctor. See you later. Gus says, you can sue Facebook for throttling your content to cause you. Yeah, you can, but you ain't got enough money. People have said that before. Hey, John, you should sue Facebook. Yes, I should. I don't have the money. It's going to take a class action lawsuit. Donna says, I never got the vax and never got the COVID that you know of. You could have. You could have. Your body might have just had the symptoms so low that it didn't. Yeah, so you didn't have any major symptoms. I didn't get any sicker than I normally did. I don't think I got a full-blown case of it, but I'm sure we were exposed to it. Herd mentality, remember that when the report was put out and then the government squashed the people that put it out? They said, let the kids go to school, take the affirmed and keep them away from people, but everybody else of normal age and normal health, let them get out into the public, let them do their thing. And then I think they said within 40 days, there'd be enough herd immunity that you wouldn't have to worry about it. The study proved that. They said, yeah, they were right. Yeah. That's how we're designed. Well, we knew this shit anyways. We talked about this when it was... No, I wasn't running the show at that time. I don't think. I might have been. I don't know. Growing up, when you had a cold, you didn't go over to Grandma and Grandpa's house. Everybody knew. Grandma and Grandpa, if they get a cold, they could get sick. They could get pneumonia. They could die. Donna says, I have a raging immunity. Yeah. Gus says, and we had it just before it came out. I was sure of it, and we never got sick. Right, because I told people, they say the official record is, and it came out, it was the spring to early summer of 2020. Yeah, bullshit. They went back to the records. It's been in the United States since the end of, that we know, the end of 2019. So everybody's been lied to. Oh, but misinformation, disinformation. Yeah, bullshit. This is what the First Amendment's supposed to protect against. Let people talk. And we know these social media platforms, they they went right along with it. Laurel says, I knew I had a few new friends that had it before it was official. Yeah. And again, I documented this shit and I put it out years ago. The first confirmed cases were not in the spring and early summer of 2020. They were at the end of 2019. Late fall, early winter. COVID. It's just a flu virus. Wisconsin says had it in January 2020. Yeah, don't doubt it. Don't doubt it. And I warned about this shit, and I told people, it's like, hey, no, stop it. Don't allow it to happen. It'd only take 5 to 7% of the population saying, I ain't complying, and it would have ended. And I couldn't get people, for a year and a half, couldn't get people to stand up and do the right thing. Wisconsin says, but I had my pneumonia shot. I ain't never had one of those. I've had a little bit of I had slight bronchitis once, and I had a little bit of pneumonia, but nothing bad. But that was quite a few years ago. Jacqueline says in South Dakota, I was one of first-class cases before it was known, January 20th. Very close to death, several months, pre-existing condition. Yeah, okay. But I've never... Yeah, and why would you do it? And that's the whole thing, too. It's like, oh, the elderly and the affirmed should get it. And it's like, okay, and then they're rolling the dice of whether or not it's going to get worse or you're going to have other things. Like my father, he got the flu shot every year, and he ended up with damn Jean-Brain syndrome, some shit like that. It's like having a stroke. From the flu shot. It's like, stop it. Gus says we were both sick as dogs and stayed home. A week later, he went back to work. Yeah. And I've had flu when I was younger. 3 days of feeling like crap, dog meat, run over by a train. Horrible. Horrible. It ain't fun. And you get on and go. The older you get, the longer it's going to take. Yeah. This shit isn't new. People have gotten sick before. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Somebody's sick. Yeah. Yeah. Like I said, and when it come to the elderly and stuff like that, you just knew. If you knew you came in contact with sick people or you were sick, you didn't go see grandma and grandpa. Have you seen the studies on the cloths they were pulling out of people? Yeah, you're talking about those. It looks like tentacle shit, right? Like seaweed, but brown. Is that what you're talking about? Those long clots? Yeah, I saw that. I'm in the air about that. I'm not actually sure what's up with that. Not so sure what's up with that. It was some weird looking shit. If folks are unfamiliar with this, it's Donna says white fibers. Yeah, some were white, some were brown. And they were like skinny seaweed, just fibrous long things that they were pulling out of people's arteries and crap. It's like, yeah, it's kind of weird. So I don't know what's up with that. Yeah, it was gross. It was gross. It was gross. Gross-amos. Gross. Somebody binge. But yeah. Don't know, Wayne. I'd have to look into that again, too. That's kind of died out. It flared up for a while and it died out. We move on to other things. So that's another thing I just like, people are going to move on. No, I'm going to let people understand the basics of this shit. Shouldn't have ever happened. You're a free people. The Constitution is there to protect you from this shit, but only if you stand up for yourself and say, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. Crazy. Oh, it's easy for you to say, yeah, my income dropped. Yeah. We felt it financially. We made decisions. We did stuff. And we made it through. I never asked anybody to do something I wouldn't do myself. It's just the way it is. Again, everybody's got to make their own decision. I understand. I'm not going to cast aspersions. But I'm telling you, 5 to 7% of the people saying not having this shit anymore, it ended. Doesn't take much. Doesn't take much. So that was it. We covered all the talking points. We covered them all. Is there anything else I want to pop up in there? Oh, Facebook is throttling my content again. Drop down to post I put up. I'm only getting 100, sometimes 500 reach on each of the posts I put up today. It does sort of fine when I go viral or semi-viral, a couple posts, and then people start seeing more of my content across the board. And then after that dies down, I get trickle. There's nothing there. I got a trickle. So I do the best I can. It's going to snow, just saying. Yeah, well, some of that's probably not helping me out much now physically either. It's going to snow. Yeah, the realtor goes, hey, John, you want me to hook you up with a plow company? I'm like, hey, that'd be great if I need it. Yeah. She's like, yeah, it's going to snow. I said, yeah. Well, the new septic inspection isn't on the 11th. It's a week and a half from now. It may snow twice before then. I don't want to pay. I don't want to pay each snowstorm when nobody's going to be going over to the property. Doesn't do me any good to keep it open. Pay once. How's it look? And then next week's supposed to be warm anyways, from what I hear. It's supposed to be damn near 50 one of the days coming up. So hell, we might not have any problem. Gus will tell you the snow was damn near all off the house. We only had a couple inches of snow on the ground. I removed enough trees where the sun gets in there. Again, thank you for coming over with me, Gus. Watching me hobble. Fall on my face. You get to ride in Zippy. Zippy. Zippy's more Gus's size than my size. I do okay. It's a little tight. Drive a Chevy Trax. Talk about that. That's a little SUV. It's cute. Zippy moves along. So see how that goes. I told her. I said, just let me know. Let me know how much snow we got. Got to meet Grizzly Adams. Yeah, the guy looking at the property looks a little bit like Grizzly Adams. A little bit. Got a bushy beard. I don't have a bushy beard. I got a straighter beard. Keep it tight. I might trim it down again. His is bushy beard. He wasn't rotund enough to be Santa Claus, but could be Grizzly Adams. But, yeah, Dulcimer should be shipped. I don't know. Let's see if I expect a tracking notice tomorrow, maybe. Because I got it paid today. That was tight. Like I said, that was actually a little over budget. So if anybody would like to help offset, there's a link in the description of the show. A little over budget. Oh, it's wonderful news. Wonderful news. You folks are going to like it. Yeah, I don't have any. I could pull up pictures for you. I'm not going to. I've waited all this time. I'll let you guys wait a few more days. But it's just like I figured it would look. So, I deserve it, damn it. Like I said, that money was set aside. I had worked hard for that money. That money was set aside. It was already budgeted. And I told the missus before he started up again. I said, I'll cancel my order. She goes, no, you won't. Okay. She knows the shit I go through. So. Gus knows a little bit of the shit that I go through. Jacqueline says, oh no, I meant other photos you post to discuss. What's that? Oh, no, I didn't even see that, Jacqueline. No, I saw Judy's. Any other photos to talk about? Which one? You talking about like my shot of the day I post up? I think I missed yesterday. I try to post up now a shot of the day. Posted up she's a Hindu woman in the winter. It's a nice shot. That's what it is. Here we go. Let me get this up here. Well, that's not it. I gotta do this. Watch this. There you go. Jacqueline says, yes, love your photography. Thank you. I had a real passion for it. Tell you, but the photography industry got saturated. You couldn't, I was too old. I wasn't. Everybody that was getting business was somebody's niece that was like 22 years old. She's a photographer. I got a niece who's a photographer. Yes, everybody has a niece that's a photographer. Gus says, crap, I forget about your page today. Shame on you. Yeah, the stuff's still there. But that's the picture I put up today. This is the Hindi woman. Elderly lady. Thought she had a lot of character. A lot of character. Like the colors, the way the colors worked, the lines worked. I may do a macro shot tomorrow. Maybe a butterfly or a bee or something. I don't know. I got some beetles. I got some. I got like an ant one. I got some really nice ones. They're very simple. Some people are like, if you know photography, you go, that's a damn nice shot. Yes, it is. But yeah, and then the Rovid stuff hit, and I think I had officially shut down the photography business by that time. I was still open, but I wasn't promoting, and I didn't have a website anymore. I just shut it down. I said, "Hey, if you want some portraits, you contact John, and I'll see about getting you done." I like elderly people too. I try to tell people, it's like, damn, you got a mother, father, aunt, uncle, grandparent that you think that they're not going to be around much longer. You contact John, and we'll go and we'll do a photo shoot for them. We'll get the pictures. It pisses me off going to a funeral and seeing where they take a picture that's like 30 years old, grainy, and it was blown up because it was taken from a picture this size. And they try to put it in a nice frame. It's like, no, let me sit down. I'll spend an afternoon with your loved one. I'll sit and I'll talk with them, get to know them, and we'll get some pictures done. We'll get some pictures done that captures them. It just pisses me off seeing people lose that. They don't think, well, I got a cell phone so I can take pictures. It's like, it ain't the same. Guaranteed it ain't the same. It ain't the same. I'll bring my stuff. I do the same. I do studio shots. I got a full studio. I got all the lights and the flash and the damn stands and backdrop, and so I can do standard studio shots too. Anywhere, it doesn't matter. Take it and go. Take it and go. Go outside, do whatever. But yeah, I think people they overlook that. Oh, I take pictures of my kids all the time and I post them up on Facebook. Yeah, and they look like cell phone shots. You want some pictures of your kids that's gonna actually be something. Let's see here. A good example. Watch this. See if I can find it. Try to pull here. I like doing events too. Go to a party or a reunion or I'll get those shots. Okay, come on now. Here we go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Where is she? Here we go. Here you go. You ain't going to get that with a cell phone. That's out at their barn. You want some shots that you want to be able to put up on your wall and get printed out right. I got a printer too. I haven't fired it up in years. I got a full professional large scale printer. Got a big Canon machine. Do big prints. I don't know whether it's like 19 by 24 or something like that. I can get them up framed, get you framed and everything. Or I just process them. You can take them where the hell you want to take them. Doesn't make any difference to me. Drop them off either as a CD or a thumb drive. Thumb drives are easy. But yeah, you're not going to get a shot like this. Your damn cell phone. People just, they get so used to clicking away with their cell phone. Yipper skipper. Oh, this is a neat one. I may put up one of those times. This is kind of neat. This is a macro shot. I don't know what the hell kind of beetle that is. It reminds me of like of an alien. And Jacqueline says, yeah, that lighting is perfect, people. Yeah, and that's my light. That wasn't, it was light outside, but I had my own flash too. This reminds me like a space rhinoceros thing on the edge of a cliff on some foreign planet. Peggy says, that's beautiful. As far as elders, no one can understand that time is guaranteed to no one. Right. Yeah, and Judy says, it does look like an alien. Yeah, it does. It reminds me of an alien rhinoceros or something. Standing on the edge of a cliff on some, like Mars type planet. And that's a, what's that, tiger lily? Or some kind, day lily or tiger lily? I don't know. It's one of those lilies. Yep. Strange looking bugs. It's a beetle of some sort. I don't know what kind of beetle it is. It's a daylily. Thank you. See, and here's another macro shot. I think it's a moth. It looks like a butterfly, but I think it's a moth. I think it's a day moth of some sort on a flower. Got all sorts of bugs. There's bugs. Yeah, like this one. That's a nice little beetle. I liked it. It had these little seeds, red seeds that were stuck to it. I don't know if you can see it. They were seeds stuck to it. Gus says, remember that movie? I forgot the name. Starship Troopers or something. Yeah, the bugs. Yeah, that's one of the one of the shows, one of the movies that the missus loves. She loves Starship Troopers. She loves that show. Where's the ant? I told you I had one. It's an ant. People are like, oh, I love this one too. It looks like a superhero. It looks like it's got a face underneath it. It's pretty cool. But where's the ant? There's the ant. I love this shot. There's something special about this shot because I love the wood that it's on. It's just, and the light is perfect. But this was one of many ants that were traveling up and down this piece of wood. So getting the shot is half the battle. But yeah, composition, lighting, I just love this. Gus says hokey, but it was supposed to be hokey. That's the whole intent. There's another B shot. I got 50 billion B shots. The spider shot. Ant shot. This one right here reminds me of Alice in Wonderland. The caterpillar guy that's sitting on the mushroom smoking. It just does. It just reminds me of that. The next thing would be A Bug's Life. It would be the guy that, or was it The Bug's Life, or was it Ants? Was it Ants? No, it had to be Ants because they were in the circus. And then he turns into a butterfly, and his body's still fat, but he has little teeny wings. There's another beetle. Oh, there's a dragonfly. Dragonfly. Tomato worm. Yeah. Is that what it was? Is it a tomato worm? Looks like a damn butterfly or something or other. I don't know what the hell it is. A caterpillar. But if you say it's a tomato worm, then that's fine by me. That's fine by me. Yep. Photography. My whiskey shots. Here we go. There's a whiskey shot. I call that my tuxedo shot because it's black and white. Gus says hornbill worm. Okay. Jacqueline says I worked garden at Home Depot 15 years, including overnight. I got so many amazing photos. Oh, I'll bet. Yeah, here's my little guy. I was looking for, and I couldn't find it. They have it. Lego has a cowboy. And they've got several of them, but one of them looks almost like me. And he's close, and I kept looking for him, and I couldn't find him for sale anywhere because I wanted to do all of my shots with a miniature whiskey cowboy, and I couldn't. So I said, "Screw it, I'll get the Stormtrooper." So I got both black and white Stormtroopers, but the white ones work better. And so he's not tied down. He's actually gripping onto the leg of this horse here. So he's not propped up. He's hanging. It's like, oh my God, let's get this set right. And it was fun. That's another. I love this shot. So simple. People don't realize how difficult it is. So simple. I saw an ad. I was at the hospital, and there was a whiskey commercial, and they had a shot just about like this in it. And I'm like, oh, that is so classy. That is so good. So I went home and I did my version of it. You got to get the depth of focus just right so enough the bottle is in focus. I got damn near all of it. Right angle, right lighting. Love that shot. It's another whiskey shot. That's me. That's my hand. You can tell. Look at the thumb. It's like, okay, got the scar on it. Yeah, that's John. Another whiskey shot. Not Photoshopped. That was actually on a clock. it's my Glenfiddich. You saw that. I just posted that up the other day. There's another. Not the same shot. You go, oh, it's the same shot. You just came in closer. No, look at that. See? Holding it different. Glass and reflections. You saw that. Glass and reflections are tricky. And like this shot, see, you've got to have enough reflection to catch so that you see that there's a side of a bottle there. You can see here is a reflection. I've got a bounce card on the left. I had a bounce card on the right as well, but it's back far enough you can't see it. But yeah. Lighting and reflections. Man, reflective surfaces can be a pain in the rear. Yep. You got to have an eye for detail, and you got to know how things are going to reflect and how they're going to work out for you. I got a message in here. Yeah, I'll think about that. We can Laurel said that she got a couple of Cowboys. She was going to send it to me, but then I shut down my mailbox. So we'll think about that. Yeah, I shut that down because it cost me more to keep the mailbox up than it did the stuff that I was getting in. I could have bought a good bit of whiskey for myself with the money that I put in for that external mailbox. So we'll see if we get that thing back up and running again. We will see. We'll see. Yeah, I appreciate it, Laurel. I try to get folks, hey, send me shit. Just doesn't have to be much. See, there, right up there. See that? Judy sent me that, right? Everything's backwards, right? Right there. There we go. Life is better in cowboy boots. That was the first thing that came in the mail in my post office box. First thing. But yeah. So maybe get this thing, get the house sold. Got some things I need to take care of. Some things for the missus. She got something she need to get done. We'll get it done. Son of a bitch. Hold on here. No, that didn't help. Okay, we're fine. So, what else we got going on? Not a poor thing. I'm a rich man. I got, and then the truck. Yeah, I keep my eyes on it. I had my eye on a couple trucks and they sold out. I got my eye on one now, but it's a little more than I want to pay. But yeah, keep my eye out. Don't count the chickens before the eggs are hatched. I'm not too worried about it. Zippy's going to be fine. I don't need a truck till spring, technically. But, technically I don't need a truck at all, but I need a truck. Gus and I talked about that. The trucks are good to have. But yeah, the missus, she's gonna be priority number one. Yep. Yep. I hate spending money. I do. I hate it. I said the dulcimer was budgeted. He sat there. It's like, I'm a couple hundred over budget. Donna says I got 6660 on mine now. Boy, you're cooking. My goodness, you got the devil's miles. That's a couple trips to the store. Donna likes to let us know she ain't driving it that much. She drives a little bit. Yeah, a couple miles. Laurel says mine's got a bit over 9,300. I think Zippy's got I think Zippy's got about 60 now. I think he's got about 60. Judy wants to know if Donna's hit a mud hole yet. Yeehaw. Donna says that she got her Highlander to my gave her Highlander to her granddaughter, so now I have to drive it. Well, see, yeah. Wayne's at 207. Was that 2,500? You say you got a 2,500? What are you driving, Wayne? I think it was a truck. 1,500? Okay. Donna says, nope. No puddles. She's driving around. Got herself a truck. She's avoiding puddles. Silverado. Oh, model Suburban. Oh, okay. Yeah, that was it. Yeah. The one on my list now is a GMC 2500. It's got the 6.2 V8 in it, but it's before it's this current generation, but it's before they switched over to the eco thing with the fuel saver. They turn off the damn cylinders. So Wisconsin says hopefully not a Ram. They announced they are in major trouble. F-350 has 312K. Yeah, that's the you got the diesel in that, right? You can run those diesels damn near forever. Yeah, Wayne's is 93. Well, says plan on putting mine at least 200 on. Yeah, those diesels, you can run them forever. As long as there's not a problem, you can run them forever. New diesels are expensive, though. Upkeep is expensive. Which is why a lot of guys are shying away from the new diesels and they're going back with the gas. But then all the companies are doing that eco shit where they've got the cylinder activation and deactivation, and that's screwing shit up and screwing up the lifters. I think like GM products, that's both GMC and Chevy, their engines are getting a 2 to 3% failure rate at about 150. So it's like, yeah, it's still, you're rolling the dice. You might have a good time with your truck, and that's fine. But that's high for a vehicle for failure. But they're all, every time they switch to new shit, then they got to work out all the bugs. They get all the bugs taken care of, then they switch and they got to screw shit up again. It's like, leave it alone. So I was looking at that 2500 has a gas engine, 6.2, but it's before they had that fuel economy eco shit where they do the cylinder stuff. Now you can deactivate that, but the problem is it's the lifters are different. So when you deactivate it, you got to go back to the old lifters, and you can do that, and that's fine. And a lot of guys are doing that to their trucks too. I think it's like a $2,000 to $3,000 job, but it's about the same as putting in a new engine, unless you do it yourself. So I don't know. It's all a crapshoot. So what are you going to do? All the trucks are having problems. All the brands out there, just like computers. Yes, says Donna. Yeah, put it out there and then fix it. Yeah, it's We're gonna have a series, and it's gonna last me 7 years for this body style. And by the time we hit the 7th year, we'll get the shit sorted out, and then we'll come out with a new one and start again. Laurel says, I don't think any U.S. automaker is trouble-free. They're all... Right. No, that's what I'm saying. They're all... You can't go, oh, don't buy this brand because they're this. No, they're all having problems. It doesn't matter what it is. Every brand is having their problems. It's just, you got to research the problem and go, which one am I going to roll the dice on? And what other features are going to outweigh that problem? So that's why I'm GMC. I'm not a brand loyalist. But GMC is where I've settled in. Where I'm looking. Ford has problems too. One of the issues with the Ford is the maintenance, the way they've designed the frame of the truck and the engine and stuff. I guess doing some of the work is a real pain in the ass, so it adds extra time to it. So it's like, yeah, I don't need that. I'm not a mechanic. So Donna says her 2003 Highlander only had 70,000. Laurel says, Jacqueline, your truck still has decent parts on it. Yeah, if you don't abuse it, it's fine. A lot of it's engine shit. Oh, except for like the Rams, the Dodges they have brake problems. Maybe their front end is heavy. I don't know what they're doing. Maybe their front end is heavier. I know we used to have ball joint problems. We'd replace those damn ball joints. We loved our old Durango. It was the first gen. You know, it had the rounded front like a Mack truck. Oh, love that vehicle. Horrible on gas. But she was planted, had plenty of power. Oh, love that Durango. I think it was called silver, but it was damn near gray. Damn near gray. Donna says Rammer in the top 5 for repairs. Yeah. Oral says with a Hemi in it. And it is. Yeah. So again, yeah, see, I'll let people argue about this and that. It's like, just go through what you're looking for. You know, what's going to give you the best. It's like, I like the 6.2 V8 gas. But they ran the 6-speed in it. It's like, can I get the 6.2 gasser with the 10-speed automatic? Because the 10-speed automatic takes care of torque issues and smoother, and just as long as you don't abuse it. If you start getting problems, it's a bitch because they're finer teeth and there's more gears. But yeah. They pull smoother. It's just I'd rather have the 10-speed. But the 6.2 without the eco crap in it. Laurel said that's why I went for the extended warranty. Yeah, we thought about that too. It's like, okay, we can get a truck under warranty, or we can get a truck just out of warranty. And how much is an extended warranty? If the extended warranty is less than the cost of like a truck that's a couple years newer, then you just get the extended warranty. Save yourself some money. I don't care. And I don't have to have the highest trim level. Just get something that looks nice. Yep. So yeah, done all the math this way and that way. I'm hoping to spend 35, 40 grand. Might have to spend a tad bit more. Don't want to spend 50. Excuse me. Now to make something that will never rust. Yeah, good luck with that. Good luck with that. They need to stop using so much damn salt. Stop the salt. That's like in New England. They just like using the salt on the road. Stop it. Stop it. I don't care. Learn how to drive, damn it. People ain't learn how to drive in this shit. Learn how to drive. Use regular sand. Don't use salt. I limit my winter driving. Go as little as possible. Not because I can't drive in it, but I like to have my vehicle not rust out from underneath me. Yeah. Yep. So we'll see how that goes. Like I said, I don't count my chickens till the eggs are hatched. But you look out there every once in a while and go, okay, what's out there? Like Gus pointed out, they're going to have some sales in February, and that's fine. But you don't want to miss. You don't want to miss. If you got the funds, you don't want to miss that truck. They had better trucks back last month. They did. It's like, oh man, they had a lot more selection last month. Good trucks. It's like, oh, and you got the ooh. It's like, no, I don't want it lifted. I don't want bigger tires. I want just stock everything, because the bigger the tire, the more it's going to cost to repair it, and I ain't going off road with it. No. Laurel says, I grew up driving in the snow. No one here knows how to drive in snow. I don't want to be the one. Yeah, it's like, I tell people, hey, I'll be fine as long as there's nobody else on the road. It's the idiots you got to watch out for. It's the idiots. Like, Jesus, I've been up here for a good bit over 20 years. We raised most of our kids up here. It's like, yeah. And there's still people can't drive in this shit. It's like, stop it. It ain't that difficult. And here's another thing. Slow the fuck down. Momentum and traction. No momentum and traction. No sharp turns. I got 4-wheel drive, so now you're going to drive. You're going to drive as if it's a bright sunny day in the middle of summer. No, stop. When those 4 wheels with bald tires, it doesn't even matter if they're bald or not. Those 4 wheels break traction. They broke traction. You got 4 sleds, just like everybody else. Slow the fuck down. Slow down. I got mud tires. Mud tires ain't worth shit in the snow. But they got a lot of tread. They got deep treads. Yeah, that's not how it works. Go look at the way mud tires and snow tires are built tread-wise, and you'll see a difference. And there's a reason. The compound's different. The way the blocks are set up are different. You don't want extraction. You want just enough dry and just enough snow in there, and snow adheres to snow. And it helps you move. But yeah, you go look it up to see a snow tire versus a mud tire. That's why people go, they see somebody with a Jeep and they're like, oh, they don't know how to drive. No, they got mud tires. That's why they're sliding all over the place in the snow. They should have good traction. No, they won't have good traction. That's why that little fucking car over there, that little car with the street tires, but they're snow tires. Yeah, look at them go. It's not a matter of knowing how to drive a lot of times. You got the wrong tires. Got the wrong tires. And slow down. My goodness. But yeah, don't want anything bigger. You know, a 32, 33 on a truck is fine. You don't need a 35. You don't need a 37 unless you're going to need it. But no. The truck comes with a 32 and a half. Keep a 32 and a half. It's good enough. You're going to pay less for your tire. Laurel says, my dad told me not to drive in 4-wheel drive because he said I wouldn't be able to steer. You can, but you have to know that your rear end is pushing too. If you're here's the problem. A lot of the vehicles that are 2 to 4, your 2 is in the back. So when you cut and you're just in 2, it's like, no, if you're going to go 2, go front wheel drive only, because then you want that on your front wheels to do the pulling. You can go damn near everywhere that you want with a front wheel drive car if you know how to drive it. But yeah, you can steer with a 4-wheel drive or all-wheel drive. You can do that, but you have to understand the physics of what's going on. Your rear wheels are still going to be turning. Then you have to see how the power displacement is, because if you get the power displacement different, you might be able to tap your brakes and do your gas at the same time. And you'll slow down one set over the other. So yeah, that's back when I drove a Willys Jeep. Yeah. I don't know how they're I don't know if they're front wheel drive when they're in 2-wheel drive. Most are rear wheel when they're in 2 to 4. But yeah, you just have to know the mechanics behind it. I drove my Mustang in the wintertime. I drove my damn GMC stepside in the wintertime, and that was a rear wheel drive truck. It wasn't 4-wheel drive. So I got that when I lived down south. Still drove it in the wintertime. Oh, she gets squirrely. She gets squirrely, but you know the physics. You know, okay, I know the ass end's going to kick out a little bit, or I'm going to go down the road a little sideways. It was rear wheel. Yeah, you got to watch out. You got to watch out. Yeah, you got to know the physics. If you know the physics of the vehicle, then you just drive it to its capabilities. I get a new drive. My youngest, she's got a Zippy just like mine, except for mine's all-wheel drive and hers is front-wheel drive. She hasn't had any problems with it. It's fine. Gus says, I always play a little in the first snow. Just remember how they move. Yeah, play a little bit. I tell you, rear-wheel drives are a hell of a lot more fun in the snow, though. You can do fun shit with those. But, well, Laurel says Tommy drove the Mustang in the snow. He always had a blast. Yeah, I drove my Mustang every winter. You just know what you got. You just know what you got. And you use it. It's like, yee. Yeah, it's fun. And take your time. Take your time. Yeah. My goodness. About made the show. I wouldn't have been able to do this a week ago, I tell you. Like I said, about 2 minutes, 2 to 3 minutes at most. And I gotta get up. I gotta get up. But black ice is a different animal. That's racist. But see, black ice will bite anybody. Black ice will bite anybody. That's what I said. We got a good car, and it's like, yeah, and you're driving it like it's a sunny day. It's like, no. If your vehicle breaks traction, your vehicle breaks traction. That's what it is. Then you better know what you're doing. Whether you're rear-wheel drive, front-wheel drive, or all-wheel drive, or four, how you handle it when you're kicking out is different. It's different. No one drives on that shit. Ain't got time for that shit. Ain't got time for that. Straight and steady. Straight and steady. Straight and steady. No studding, no studding, no sudden stops, no sudden starts. All right, black ice ain't too bad if you got studded tires. That's a little better. I don't have studded tires. And you can run studded tires year-round here in New Hampshire. I find it annoying. If there's no snow on the ground and I hear somebody with studded tires, I want to smack them. Gus says snow is predictable, no surprises, unless there's ice underneath it. Snow is predictable unless there's ice underneath it. Yeah. But Wisconsin says we're going to call it a night. Great show. Thanks for stopping in with Wisconsin. If your wife is there with you, I know she was last time, say, hey, welcome to the show. It was okay. I'm sorry, I'm in a little bit of a pain. I'm trying to do the best I can. I didn't want to go another week. But hopefully you'll be there for the next show. That will be on Sunday. I started the show today saying it was Sunday. It's not. It's Wednesday. My schedule's all screwed up. Laurel says, unfortunately, we get more ice here than snow. Yeah. Yeah, we get this and that and everything else here. Yep. We're still going to see what's going to happen this winter. They say it's going to be a dry winter. I don't know. I want a good bit of snow right before Christmas. That's all I need. Or at least a couple inches. I want everything white. It can go away after that. I like a white Christmas. Haven't set up anything for Christmas yet. Gus says, yep, I'm calling it. Hopefully you keep getting better. Good night, everyone. Have a good rest of your week. Oh, Gus, I forgot to tell you. The reason we haven't dropped off any eggs is they still ain't laying yet. we haven't had an egg in almost 2 months now. So when they kick in again, we'll let you know. But yeah. Laurel says going to be in the teens tonight and only in the 20s tomorrow. Yeah, we've been running in the 30s, in the low 30s here for a while. Gets up into I think Tuesday it was 40-ish. Gus says no big deal, thank you. Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. But yeah, it is about that time. It is about that time. Change their feed. It's not their feed. It's not their feed. They're molting. I think they're about done. And they can go about usually a couple weeks to a couple months at the most. But they're molting. That's not their food. It's like, ah, damn it. If it was that easy. No, they're molten. They should be done here soon. Or else they'll be in the pot. Oh, goodness. Yeah, they picked a fine time. Yeah, I told you. In Halloween, we had other people. Your chicken's laying? No. Your chicken laying? No. Nobody's chickens were laying. They're all molting at the same time now. Nobody's laying eggs. But yeah, they picked a fine time. But I think I'm gonna shut it down. Thank you all for joining the show. Again, for those that are tuning in, if you'd like to help donate to the cause, there's links in the description of the show. If you want to find out more about my content, go over to the Whiskey Cowboy on Facebook.com, on the book, on the face of the book. See my articles and goodies that I post up there every day. Every day. Say hey. Wayne says, hope you feel better. Thank you. So do I. I am much better than I was a week ago, I tell you. Yes. I'm getting better. I'm getting better. Jacqueline says, feel better soon. Good night, all. Good night, Jacqueline. Don't they know it's bacon season? Yeah. Chicken pot pie. Chicken pot pie. Peggy says, good night, all. Thank you, John. Please take care. I'm doing the best I can. Donna says, great show, John. Night, all. Thank you. I'll see you again on Sunday. I'll see you on Facebook in that time period. Trying to keep the riffraff down. I've been busy. Gus and I went over. He didn't realize how much shit I have to clean up to make it nice for everybody. But yeah. Laurel says good night. Hope you get some rest. Me too. I'm going to ice it down. I got the BioFreeze thing, and I got some new stuff that the missus worked up. It's a magnesium rub. And put that on it and help me sleep. And Judy says, good night, all. Hope you all feel better soon. So do I. Thank you. But like I said, I couldn't go another day. I was like, nah, I'm not going to go past a week. Haven't done the show for a week. Let's get it up. So, okay. That's that. Stop me yammering. Wayne, thank you for coming to the show. Everybody else, if I missed anybody, sorry. Again, like, share, subscribe. See you on Sunday. God bless and take care.